Hello and welcome to Belinda's Book Nook. I'm Belinda, and today, before I get started, look at that beauty. Isn't that lovely? I just went to Michael's craft store and they are having a sale on Black History products and 60% off. So I only got this for a couple dollars. So if you have one near you, you might want to go check it out. They have t-shirts and other things as well. And I did snag a few things. So this is my cup of tea. But today I'm here with you guys because I want to talk to you about my TBR for March Mystery Madness. I know I don't usually do TBRs, but it's 2020 and I'm trying a lot of new things this year. So we'll see how it works for me. I will try not to feel guilty if I don't meet what I expect or what I say that I'd like to read. For March Mystery Madness, it's on its 5th year, and its original founders are Elizabeth from LizziefayeLovesBooks and Troi from Troi Towel, and I'll put both links below so you can check out their channels. I think Troi has stepped back this year in terms of hosting some other additional challenges, and he's going to be reading along with everybody. But I know there are a large number of hosts that are doing different challenges and criterias. And being that this is the 5th year, this the theme of this is the number 5. So I'm going to read through the list of things, and then I'll try to say what books I have that fit into that. But usually I am much a rebel. I usually just read mysteries in March, and I say that's it and call it a day. But I thought this year I would shake it up and see if I found a couple books that I have that will fit into some of those categories. So the first thing is to read 5 books. Again, let me introduce myself. Probably not going to happen, but I'm going to give it a try, okay? So 5 books is one that you could do. Then you could, let's see, this is the right one? Yeah, this one here. Read a book, the 5th book in a series. That's cool, you know, because a lot of these ones, especially the cozy mysteries, have a lot of books, so you could definitely be able to do that. A book with 5 or more titles in the words in the title, and I have a book here today that will fit that. A book with a page count divisible by 5. I couldn't find any in the ones that I was going to read, and I just was not going to force it. A book with a number 5 or 5th in the title. A book first published in a year divisible by 5, and a book published in May of any year. And since it's the 5th anniversary, what is the theme for that? To read a book with something made of wood on the cover. And the other thing I thought of that would be kind of good for people like me that have a lot of books on their shelf that they have not read is a book that you have had on your shelf for 5 years and haven't read. And I probably could do that, but you see, I just did not have time, and I knew I had some books that I did want to read, so that but that would be a cool one if somebody can, you know, do that. That's a nice idea. Okay, so the books that I have, this first one is a new release, and I pre-order my books, and this year I pre-ordered a lot of books. I'm not a member of Book of the Month. I don't like the idea of somebody picking and sending them to me, so I like to pick what I think I'm going to be interested in and pre-order them, particularly authors I know or debut authors that I feel confident that I might like. And so I got this in perfect time, and this is Walter Mosley's latest book called Trouble Is What I Do. And pardon me again, I love the cover of this. It's so small. Look. I think it's less than 200 pages in the writing. Look. Oh my God. Probably for most of you all one sitting. It might take me more than one sitting, but definitely a short book. It's a it says, from best-selling novelist Walter Mosley comes the return of Leonard McGill, a morally ambiguous PI whose clients are society's most downtrodden. It says, Catfish is a 94-year-old Mississippi bluesman who needs Leonard's help with a simple task to deliver a letter revealing the black lineage of a wealthy heiress and her corrupt father. The opportunity to do a simple favor while shocking the prevailing elite is impossible for Leonard to resist. But when a famed and feared assassin puts out a hit on Catfish, Leonard has no choice but to confront the ghost of his own felonious past. Working to protect his client and his own family, Leonard needs to reach the heiress on the eve of her wedding before her powerful father kills those who hold the family's secret. This one is kind of a twofer for me. I'm going to read this for March Mystery Madness, but it might even go into my family history series because it sounds like stuff like that. So, booyah. There's one. The next one, I fell in love with this author last year. I just fangirling her. This is Rachel Housel Hall. If you haven't read her, just read it. Just read it. I really, for whatever reason, her first novel, it's crime fiction. I just fell for, and I read 2 of them last year, and then I'm making myself pace myself because she only has, I believe, 5 in this series, and then she went on and wrote a standalone, totally different kind of book last year that I want to read, but I'm just sticking with these because I really, really love her character. Her name is Eloise, and they call her Lou Norton, and she's a homicide detective, and the stories are all really always very good. It's her and her partner, what was his name? Colin Taggart. I just love the rapport, the dialogue between her mindset, everything about it. So I am super excited. I held off and waited to read this again this year for March Mystery Madness. So this is book 3 in that series. I said 5, but I don't think there are 5 because I could have read the 5th. I think there's one more after this, and then the 5th one is that new one. Just thinking, I will check. But this is the one I want to read, and it's called Trail of Echoes. If you can read her first book, oh, it is so good. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. All right, so the next one is The Missing American, brand new book, another one I pre-ordered. It came. This is the first Emma Jane investigation. She is a detective. She's 26 years old, and it is set in Ghana. And I believe, and look at the cover, it's really beautiful too. I believe what happens is that there's a gentleman that falls for a woman. He's recently widowed, right? Yep. He lives in DC. He's taken up online with a woman from Ghana, and she eventually writes to him that I think her brother or somebody was killed in a car, or her sister gets killed in a car accident, and he sends her all these thousands of dollars. Well, the gentleman's son comes to talk with Emma Jan, who's the, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, who is the detective, to see if she can help find out what happens, because once he starts sending all this money, he decides he's then going to go surprise this lady, and he goes to Ghana and disappears. And so now his son is like freaked out, like, did he get scammed? What happened? Did he get hurt? I want to know. So he starts to work with Emma to investigate and find out what happened to his father. Tell me that doesn't sound good. Tell me it doesn't sound good. And it sounds so good that I'm not even looking at, you know, the chunkster feeling that I'm getting when I look at this. I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about the story. If the story is as good as that sounds, then I will be able to go through this book and make it through it. But I love it. I love the cover. And that's The Missing American by Troi Towel. I owe two of his books on ebook, and I have not read them, of another series of another detective. So if this is good, I'm going to start backlisting on his stuff. Another new one, also all these new, well, 3 of the books are new on this list. Shame. But I didn't order them for it. I had already pre-ordered them. This one just came in, and this one is kind of yes and no. I'm not sure what people think if this is a mystery, but I will consider this a mystery, and it's called The Lost Book of Donna Murrow, and it's by Michael Zapata. Okay. And I'm going to read it to you so that you can see what you think about this, okay? It says, in 1929 in New Orleans, a Dominican immigrant named Donna Murrow writes a science fiction novel called Lost City. It earns a modest but enthusiastic readership, and Donna begins a sequel. When she falls gravely ill, and just before she dies, leaving behind her husband and son, she destroys the only copy of the manuscript. Decades later in Chicago, so I like books like that, like, you know, like different time periods and stuff like that. Decades later in Chicago, Saul Drower's dying grandfather asked him to send a mysterious package to Adele Murrow's son, Maxwell, a theoretical physicist at the University of Chile. When the package is unexpectedly returned, Saul discovers that it contains a manuscript titled A Model Earth, written by none other than Donna Murrow. Who was Donna Murrow, and how did Saul's grandfather, a Jewish immigrant born on a steamship, come across this lost manuscript? With the help of his friend Javier, Saul tracks down an address for Maxwell in New Orleans, and just as Hurricane Katrina strikes, the two head south, a storm-ravaged city, in search of answers. What results is a brilliantly layered masterpiece, an ode to home storytelling and the possibility of parallel worlds. This sounds so good. I remember when I read the description, I didn't even hesitate. I just pre-ordered it. I'm hoping it'll meet my expectations. I don't know, I don't believe that this is necessarily, listed as a mystery, but it is, right? That's the other thing about mysteries is there's so many genres. I mean, you got your crime fictions, right? Your PIs, right? And then you have your like cozy mysteries. And then you got these, I guess this is kind of like, I don't know if this is not really a cozy mystery, but this is like a series, a mystery series that has so many books. So if you do like it, you have plenty to read. So I always feel like, people that say they don't like mysteries should give it a chance because there's so many things. You could do horror suspense mysteries. There's definitely things in there for everybody to read. And I am looking forward to reading this stuff because I am just coming off of, and I've almost completed my Black History reading, and it's been a very heavy month, which I'll come back to you guys with all of that stuff though. But I'm just really grateful that you guys came to listen to my TBR. Let me know what you're reading. I'm always looking for recommendations of books, and I just want to hear what everybody's doing, and I will talk to you all later. Bye. Want to look at it again? Oh my God, it's so nice. I love it. Only thing is, if you do get this mug, these mugs that have the metallic on it and see it there, you can't put it in the microwave. So if you're like me and it gets cold a lot, you either have one of the heaters that you can set it on, or you reheat it in another mug and put it back in here. Or you drink fast, but that's not me. I sip. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I'm babbling and I already said bye. Bye.